Hello everyone and welcome to another video. It's been a while and I think work kind of got in the way, life got in the way.
Happens. That happens, man.
So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. For us, it's good morning. It's currently 9:30 in the morning when we're recording this on a beautiful Monday.
Why? Why are we doing this? Why must we suffer? Why must we torture ourselves making videos in the morning and Monday?
I have no idea, bro. But as promised, we are going to go through more Witcher content, Witcher RPG. So today we're gonna, as people are seeing on the screen, combat. Over here I prepared a little mini map using Roll20. Specifically, guys, I love using the isometric maps. So the reason why you're seeing everything kind of slanting is because I love using isometric. It gives that 2D, sorry,
2D, 2.5D.
2.5D feel to it.
Yeah,
Like you actually have
yeah.
miniatures.
Almost like miniatures or Baldur's Gate-esque sort of style of play.
So
No
today we're
worries,
gonna
man.
go over combat. Now, rule of thumb usually is that there's going to be monsters equal to the number of players plus two. Now, when I say this is the rule of thumb, it has to be depending on the monster's difficulty level. There is a page on the manual which tells you how to make combats balanced between the players and their monsters. In this case, it's pretty much Ethan against three bandits. Um, Now, Ethan created the character last time. If you haven't seen the video, he created a doctor.
Human
Now,
Doctor.
Now, for those of you who are new to Witcher, every single class is able to fight. As long as you know how to pick up an item and swing with it, you can fight. It doesn't necessarily mean you're good at it. But today we're just gonna go over um, how well Ethan's character is going to do. This is
Yeah,
more
we'll see.
this is more chunking down the rules. We're not gonna go so advanced. We're gonna go with very basic stuff. So, like for example, the fact that you can take um, two actions per round, right?
One action, and then but you can then spend stamina, I think, to do more actions. But you take a penalty, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Let me see if that's a rule. Let me see. Extra action and defense. Yeah, there's a section for that. You can spend 3 points stamina to take one extra action at a -3 at any point during your turn. Uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's some rules for that. That's what I remember anyway. I don't know about you.
All right. So, but I believe. Okay. So if you move, you spent your action. Is that what you're saying?
No, so you have a move action and then an action, sort of like D&D, right? Like you have your standard like move, which is whatever up to your speed, and then you have your action, so you can do whatever one action you want, or you can take a full action, which is whatever those full round actions are.
All right. Cool.
Um, yeah, and then we have, and then you can do dodging and extra actions and stuff like that. But I think it's a bit more advanced stuff, so I don't know if we want to delve into that stuff if you want. But
We'll see
um,
as we go along. So let's start
yeah.
with the very basic stuff. So, what you can do as actions? You can attack, right?
Mhm.
Uh, the optional combat rule, which is initiate verbal combat,
Right.
um, which a lot of people don't use. It seems you can either cast magic or cast a spell, use a skill or do something. You can pick up, draw an item or a weapon. So, sorry.
Let's.
Those are pretty much your standard
Mhm.
actions. Full round actions is you either decide to run, you actively dodge, so you prepare yourself to actually dodge the next move. You decide to take aim, or you take a recovery action. So once you decide to do one of those four, basically you've concluded your full round
Yeah.
there.
All right.
Righto, let's get into the whole. No? Ethan left me? Ethan, why you leave me? Awkward. Alright, Ethan came back.
Apologies for that.
No worries, man. Okay, so um, what you're seeing on screen at the moment is from the Witcher Easy mode, so this is for free. I think I like this better because it kind of makes it easier for people to understand how things actually work.
Oh.
So you have the rounds and turns, initiative, actions, which is like you mentioned, there's movement, which you move up to your speeds, and then you get to choose an action. You can perform a single action um, from the actions table, which is attack action, casting action, item action, movement action, and skill action. So, yeah.
All right. Cool beans.
All right,
Um,
let's get straight into it. What are you going to
yeah.
do? So you were traveling, and these bandits, who seem local to the area, have come to approach you to take your gold.
So, all right. So Merrick just seeing situation is like, shit again. Why does every time I have to say? And he's going to draw out. He'll So we haven't entered combat yet. If you haven't entered combat, he's going to draw his two weapons. His Jambaya, which is a Xanarcanian short sword, basically, very ornately designed. I can maybe he got it somewhere when he ate a Xanarcanian at some point, and then he draws a simple dagger, drawing them out. And he shouts out to them, "Oi!
Ah,
Don't hurt! There's a fucking doctor here, trying to save lives here, not kill them."
the only lives you should be worried about today is your own. One of them says as he's fidgeting with his knife. You know those things where you do a trick with
Yeah.
the knife around your fingers. Well, that's basically what he's doing, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I guess this is the part where we initiate combat.
Alrighty.
Apologies.
Tell us. No worries.
So,
Tell us. How does your
initiative starts with a 1d10 roll plus your reflex for each player.
Alrighty, my reflex is normally 5. However, I'm over encumbered, so that reduces down to 1.
Oh, right.
So that's 6. Off to a good start.
So how do how I haven't used roll 20 in such a long time. It is roll.
So you can do slash roll plus you add slash roll your d10 plus your stat.
1d10 plus and my it was reflex we said, yeah?
Yeah, reflex use. That's what you said.
Is
Yeah.
that how it is? No, it doesn't want to take it.
It's slash roll or slash R. I can actually send it to you.
Slash-
Slash R 1d10 plus, and then the
There we go.
yeah, I just said the kind of code example without the quotation marks, of course.
Alright.
He rolled. They rolled a nat 1. So here's another question with initiative. Is there a critical failure?
There is so technically I should have rolled another d10
Yeah, I have to roll.
there.
Yeah, you have to roll another d10. Yeah. So,
So-
would you want to explain what happens in nat 1?
So if you get a nat 1 or a nat 10, this is a mechanic of exploding dice. So basically, you get to re-roll again, right? Once you get the initiation of a critical 1 or a critical 10, and you start in a critical 1, you start deducting anything that comes forward from that, and a critical 10 you add on. So
So they get to roll another d10, and and it's a minus. So you can do slash R 1d10 or
slash R1 d10.
so down to 0.
Actually, in the negative, right? Because
Yeah. So negative 2.
no,
Yeah,
ne-
negative 2.
wouldn't be-
Oof. Yeah. All right. So are you going to do this? Is this for all the guys or for one of them?
So I'm doing it for all of them. Another one.
Another.
Alrighty. Cool.
So we have. Alright, so what's the order? So I roll a 6.
So it is Bandit, you, Bandit, Bandit. Am I saying it
Alrighty.
right? I feel very nasal today. I'm not feeling 100%.
Yes, you said you're saying bandit, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're not saying some weird. I don't think you're saying anything weird.
So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 for those of you watching. Right, so my guys have a speed of 4. So basically, this guy is gonna move up 1, 2, 3, 4, and he does not have any ranged weapons, so he's just gonna hold his position on a defensive. So
Okay. Alright.
going back to going back to the or full-on rules from the core book, I'm using a full round action to basically actively dodge.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah. So I have a question with you. For this is how you saw correctly for your game.
Sorry.
So it does say on miniatures. So is one speed equals 1 square for Witcher, or is it like a different numerical
no,
value for?
it is 1 square is so the
Alright.
numeric figure is the number of squares.
Okay. Very well. Alright.
All right, which means it's your turn. What's your speed?
So my speed is 5. However, I think because I'm encumbered, my speed is actually 4. So yeah. So I only have 4 speed. Now look at the situation here. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So I can't literally get into anyone with my speed because I only have melee weapons. I don't have any range weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do these trees exist? Just to confirm.
Yes, they do.
Okay. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4 behind cover, behind one of the trees.
Okay.
Sort of like get my back to the tree, and I'm gonna use my action. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna take a full action to run, because I'm gonna run much more behind. I'm gonna go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 behind this tree over there. I am running away into one of the trees, taking cover there. That's it.
Hold on, because you are out of view at this point.
Yeah, sorry.
There we go.
So you just see Merrick run through the trees, like takes cover, like as I imagine some of them are using bows, maybe. Do they have or crossbows, or they're just melee weapons?
They're all melee, so
All melee. Okay.
not the smartest
Yeah.
bunch, unfortunately.
Poor guys. So yeah, I ran to cover, and that's it.
All right, so seeing that you took full flight, the guy whose turn is next, which is this one, is also gonna run after you. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, there we go. And same goes for the other guy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not so far. All right, so which brings us back to the top of the round again with this guy. This guy is no longer in the actively dodge position. He's gonna also take run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Which brings it back to your turn.
Alrighty. Okay. So now, seeing as this guy is gonna come to me, I'm gonna do just a normal move to engage the guy. But as I'm engaging, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna try and run behind him, behind his back, if I can.
Okay.
Alrighty. Because if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, Dom. Positioning matters heavily in The Witcher, especially when where you're facing. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if this guy is facing me here, could I then be over here and get a bonus?
That is correct, yes.
Alrighty. Then I'll go over there. But around him, and that's my full 4 speed, and then I'm going to, with my Jambaya, I will stab him. I'm just going to do a normal attack. Tell me, What is it? Just a normal attack, or do I have choice for attacks?
Alright, so the way it works is like this. Now that we've actually initiated proper attack here, you can either go for a specific area,
Okay.
right? Now, the human damage location is head, torso, right arm, right leg, left leg, right?
Mhm.
Depending on what you're aiming specifically at, you get a negative modifier, obviously, because all of a sudden you're trying to hit something,
Yeah.
specific rather than wherever.
Yeah.
If you do succeed, you do damage times an additional modifier. So if you're going for the head and you succeed, the damage then what you roll is times 3. Torso's, excuse me, normal times 1. Any of the limbs is at times half damage.
All right.
Right? So
Okay.
so that's
Alrighty.
what you're looking at.
So because now I'm behind him. So what happens what bonus do I get when I'm behind an enemy's vision? Like when I'm basically out of their line of sight.
So, really and truly, if you're out of my line of sight, what, if I'm not mistaken, so, first strike, okay, where is it? Using cover, which is not your case. I think basically it affects me, I think, more than you.
Let me see. Line of sight, vision cone facing. Your vision cone determines where you can see around your enemy. Anything outside of your vision cone is invisible to you. When targeting something outside of your vision cone, you take a -3 to the attack and can't aim. An enemy outside of your vision cone gets a +3 to their attack against you.
Ah, there we are. So
Yeah, so it's... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so I got +3 bonus to attack. My Jambaya now has is a very active weapon, gets a +2 to a weapon accuracy, so it's a +5. So I'm going to try and risk this. I'm going to do a fast... can I do one attack? Or...
Alright, so in relation to attack, then it splits into 2 different categories. So either fast attack, where you
Okay.
basically attack twice,
Okay.
or you do a strong attack, where you attack once, but you're delivering a heavier blow.
Okay.
I wonder if
Alrighty.
it's an easier defense.
Here it is. Looking at, I think fast strike you just get 2 attacks, and then strong attack it's harder to hit, but you just do more damage. So, okay. If it's a problem, then I would like to do two strikes.
Mhm.
So the first strike, I'm gonna do one to the head.
Okay.
So that's a -6 penalty to hit if I'm correct. But with the +5 bonus because I'm behind their line of, I'm out of their sight. Is a that's a -6. So I just have a -1 total bonus, total penalty.
Mhm.
If it makes sense. So in that case, then I have. So Maris has my character. He has a small blade skill total of 9, 5 for his skill plus his reflexes, which currently is 4. So he has a +8 bonus to hit.
Okay. Let's say
And
that. Hold on, because you'd really rush through all
Yeah.
of that, and I don't want people to kind of go like,
Yeah,
"What the hell
sorry.
was that?"
What did I
So-
say? Yeah, apologies.
So let's break it down. What do you have? So it's a 1d10 always.
Yeah.
So plus what?
So my skill, my small blade skill, which is the skill is 5 plus the reflex stat, which for me is 4.
Because it's
That's-
driven from that.
Yeah. So that's
Cool.
9 total.
So it's 1d10 plus 9. Then the modifiers kick in,
Yes.
right? So
Yep.
you're aiming for the head, so automatically you get a -6 there. But
So
because you are in the kind of blind vision, you get a
Yep.
+3.
Yep. And then I have a weapon, Jambile. It has a weapon accuracy bonus of +2. So that I think offsets.
I think it
Right.
comes up to 8, if my maths is right.
Yes. So my skill is 9, then -6 plus 5. I'm basically getting everything together. So that's +8. Yeah, +8. Right?
Yep, go for it.
Alrighty. 17 to hit.
Wow.
It's a 9 on the D10. It's a very good hit, I think. So now, what happens? Is there AC, or what does the opponent do now?
So, the thing is this. In relation to the bandit that you attacked, if you were
Yep.
facing him, he should have the option to dodge you. So
Okay.
basically, it would be an opposing roll to see if he dodges you, kind of get out of the way. Now,
Yeah. Alright.
I would say he knows you're behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and he should be supposedly able to dodge. I think that's my logic.
Yeah.
But
No, I think you can.
but I think there would be, because it's an behind you, it's a -3, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we are looking at a 1d10 -3, but then my dodge ability, which everyone has, dodge escape, is a +4. Plus my reflex. +6. Alright. Yeah. Not gonna work. Not to mention that was a fumble.
Oh no, that's oof.
So
0.
that
Sorry, a 1.
that goes down
1.
to a 1. So
Okay. So, what happens, Don?
this becomes very dangerous. You're going for the head, you said, yeah?
Yes. Yep. So that's a hit then.
Yeah. So you definitely hit him. Now I'm just checking some stuff here. All right, so he has armor on him, but it's only protecting his torso, not his head. So you get to
Okay.
do the full damage. Go ahead.
Alright, so my Jambaya does 2d6 damage
Mhm.
by itself. Slash R
And-
2d6.
Times 3. Sorry.
Multiply by 3. Okay, actually, here's a question, because if I'm correct,
Mm-hmm.
when I'll do damage and then we'll see. First of all, I'll just roll 2d6, fuck it, then we'll just multiply by 3. So 8 times 3 is... Math, 24. 24 damage.
24 damage. Let me just have a look at his health. What's
Um,
his HP?
and if I'm correct, if you roll very high, you can get a critical wound, right? On your attack.
If he were to survive that, which he didn't, by the way.
Okay, so those are your merit. Alright, then he doesn't survive 24 damage to the head.
No, you just go in and you just dig your weapon straight in the back of his skull, and you just tear further down, and as you kind of push with your leg to get him off your blade, he's just, KO, done, dead. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah, and that's only... Yeah, and so he just like... Damn it, why do I have to always deliver death? And he just sort of... starts swings his blade around now, because he can't do his second attack now, because that's a waste, because he has no enemies next to him. That's it. That's his turn. He's gonna turn to the other guys, so now he's facing them,
Yeah.
as they're gonna come to him.
So the other guy goes ahead and moves 4 speed, so 1, 2, 3, 4, leaving 1 space between you guys. The other one decides to keep running. That's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, got it. And he has some coverage with that boulder there, where he stopped. So, which brings it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Alrighty. I'm just gonna move up to him face to face, and I'm going to do 2 fast strikes again. I'm gonna aim for the torso, actually.
Okay.
So 2 attacks to the torso. It's a -1 to hit
That's
the torso,
correct, yeah.
right? Alright. Jambaya does +2 to hit. So if you offset those modifiers, it's just a +1.
Mm-hmm.
And my base weapon skill is again 9 in this case. So here comes the swings. First attack. 15.
All right. So the guy is, since he walked up to you, he's more ready. He sees you swing. He's about to dodge. So let me bring the character up. So that's +6 +4. 14. You just get. He just doesn't manage to kind of get out of the way on time. So you just go in for the slash. Go for it.
Okay, so alright, so I'm gonna roll. It's again 2d6. 9 damage this time. Now, my Jambaya has two qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Do I mention them?
Yeah, go ahead.
It has bleeding, but I think that comes in after it hits, so we'll ignore that for now. And it has also armor piercing.
No.
But it does have armor piercing. However, though, I think armor piercing in this game works very differently than how it sounds. It just has normal armor piercing. And on normal armor piercing, it says here, armor piercing weapons negate the damage resistance of any armor that they hit. But armor don't have damage resistance, they have stopping power. If I'm correct, right? That's different.
So, sorry. So, whenever the armor, how do I explain this? So,
Alright.
every piece of armor has a number to it, which negates the damage. Now, for example, because you hit his torso, he has torso armor, which resists any damage by 5. It protects him by 5. Now, because you have piercing armor, it kind of negates that. So as if the 5 wasn't there, right? But every time it gets hit, the armor is reduced by 1.
Okay.
Because you're destroying the armor slowly, every time you get through it.
Alright.
Okay? So, basically, the bandit gets the full 9 damage,
Alright. Okay.
right? And his armor also goes down by 1.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that is... Yeah, so that's the first attack into his armor, and then I pull out. And then I'll go for a second attack.
Yep.
Question for all characters. Can you dodge multiple times? Or can you only dodge once per turn? Out of curiosity.
Sorry.
No worries.
I really don't think I'm gonna make it today.
Ooh.
Alright, so when you're dodging, the first time you dodge can be taken as an action.
Okay.
Right? The second time is gonna cost you stamina, and it's gonna cost me 3 stamina, I believe, in order to
I think
actively dodge again, if I'm not mistaken.
It costs 1 for action that's a defensive action. Just 1 stamina.
Alright, there we go. Okay, cool. Not that harsh.
It's 3 points if you're doing like another action, but after in your turn, but 1 stamina if you're defending. So it makes sense actually.
Okay.
Alright.
So, stamina is another set of health points for those of you watching. If that stamina hits 0, you're exhausted and you pass out of exhaustion. While if your hit points hit 0, you are Amnos Dominus, you're dead. Right.
Yeah, shit happens on 0. It's bad. It's all bad. Alright.
Go
So,
for it. So, you're
second.
going for a fast
Here.
attack again?
Yep, same mods as the last one, so hold up. Actually, it would be at +10. I made a mistake, but oh well. 18 to hit. It should be at 10 because of, again, 9 plus the, yeah.
And
Ooh, 18 versus 12. That's a hit, but not critical, correct?
that is a hit.
Damage 11. I'm rolling too high today.
As you swing into the torso once again, so the first one was a slash, and the second one was kind of like using the same movement back. You kind of dig it straight into him, and without you realizing, you find his heart. That's how kind of like the immediate reaction was. You find his heart. The guy limps down onto his side, grasping his chest in pain, and passes out, dying.
Okay, I'm like, and he's gonna look at the other guy, and he's gonna sort of do the show. Your two friends have died. You want to take your life also? I can easily do it.
The guy takes his situation into account as like, you know what? This ain't worth it. I'm out. And he just takes a
Books
run
it.
out of there. And that's very fast how combat kind of works. I know we've been through a lot of things like that quick,
Yeah.
but you get to see how combat actually works. So people don't really fight to the death here. Like the last bandit would not, seeing that his two comrades died, would not stay till the end to prove a point. You know, he would run away to fight another day. So that's something very important, especially for GMs and even players, to realize. Don't stick to the end for a fight. This is deadly. You saw two. It's easy to get yourself killed. I think, to be honest with you, position-wise, you were in an advantage. So,
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I took advantage of the situation where it's like, okay, um, I need to, because otherwise, so this is the thing about it. If I played, I could have gone the normal way of some players would have gone, which is I rush forward and attack people.
mhm.
Thing is, though, they would gang me up then. So you have to do the whole movie-esque style of letting them come one by one. um, but also, I did get lucky in this combat. I very much got lucky in certain situations. So yeah, this could have easily though swung the other side.
Now the thing is this: you were dealing with bandits, so humans, which means any damage you've done is full damage.
Yeah,
Um, However, with monsters, it works very differently because monsters are only affected by silver. Um, so anything that you attack that is not silver gets reduced heavily. So
mhm,
it just makes things harder and harder to kill.
yeah,
So this is kind of a breakdown of combat. This is like the fast rules based thing. As you can see in combat, there's more to take into in consideration. Are they being
yeah,
covered? Are they not? You know, wounding and so forth. So,
yeah.
how do you feel about it? How do you feel combat?
Honestly, so far I have enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I won this, but outside of that, it's. I originally thought when I would go to the book, I was like, this is confusing. Like it confused me originally because there's a lot of stuff you have to take in, and because you don't know what's going on, you're not sure. But after I think playing this system and also having experience from the other D10 system of
Mm-hmm.
which is let's see the Artillery which is Cyberpunk Red, it's not that hard. It's not. It's like at least the base core system. It's actually simple. There is definitely a lot of stuff that we have to consider and all that. But yeah, it's yeah. I don't think it's hard at the moment. But we also
So,
have to consider. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
And say we also have to take consideration that this is one person versus three guys. A party would be different because if we had like a full party of say four against, it would be against six bandits, so it would be a totally different um, situation.
Again, I mean, so let me just bring up the. Excusez-moi. For the viewers. Okay, so this is the bandit, right? So, as you can see, the threat is easy and simple. For those of you who want to make use of like reward systems, they're worth 10 crowns. Their armor is 5. So I would say that would be torso. You can kind of decide, you can split it up because he has a hood. You can say it's 1 in the head and like 4 in the torso. You have all his relevant stats. His HP is 20. Um, and then you have the relevant other skills here, athletics, awareness, and so forth. If the doctor decided to loot, he could have potentially gained any of these. So crowns equal to 3d10s, A double woven hood, some mundane items. So you go into the mundane list and see what item that may be. Padded trousers, and so forth. So this is the weapons he's using, which is an iron longsword, by the way. That's a 2d6 plus 2. He did have. I could have went for a hand crossbow if I wanted to, for a range attack, but I decided not to.
Could have.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's what a bandit is. Now, if we had to go for, like, say, this one, which is a mage, the threat goes up to medium, and you can see that basically the mage can cast spells over here, abilities, rituals, and hexes, which tends to mean that they're a bit more deadly. So I would say, for example, I would put in one mage and one bandit, maybe two bandits, just to even out the situation. I would not have done three mages, for example. Definitely not. Maybe two at best, right? Because
Yeah.
their threat is medium. And then you have, for example, the Scoia'tael archers. They are an easy level, but they are complex. So potentially, because they are archers, they're going to be harder to hit because probably they're using cover, they're using elevation, so they have different tactics. Then we go into the monsters. Drowners are easy and simple, but then don't forget, drowners are monsters. So if the doctor had to attack this thing, his damage would be reduced. Now, if we go into the monsters side of things, where is it? So hit location damage. Fast strike versus strong strike. I think fast strike is like everyone's favorite because it's like you're attacking
Yeah.
twice.
You're
So.
attacking twice, and you're getting like two attacks on. Strong attack would be very useful though, still, but it'd be useful against targets that have heavy armor. So if you get someone who's like, I got a shit ton of armor, it's better just go for strong attack dead because that's a lot more damage, and you can potentially pierce armor. While fast strike, you might not. I mean, even though I'm using a jump with armor piercing, and that's something I'm still need to look up on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it varies. We'll see.
And then there's a wound threshold, so
We haven't gotten to that though. But yeah.
I mean,
Well, because those
combat
guys
can,
I killed. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in combat in The Witcher. That
you can
can
make
be.
it realistic and gritty. That's the thing, you know.
It is realistic and gritty by itself, to be honest, which is a good thing, I say. But the thing is, you don't need to use all these rules for a comp. You don't have to know all of them.
Oh no, I
that's
like to keep it at basic. So
yeah.
all
Like there's-
monsters except beasts are resistant to non-silver weapons, thus taking half the damage of any weapon not made of silver. So basically, let's say he was up against a drowner, he would be not dealing the full 11 damage, but half of that rounded down,
Yeah.
I think.
Up or down, whichever. I don't know what the core rule is for Witcher.
It doesn't really specify here. So all monsters...
Usually, unless it's specified in like RPGs, some of them.
You want to round down.
Rounded down, but unless The Witcher has like a starting rule where it's like the golden rule, like hey, everything is rounded up, then. But yeah, but I don't know that. I think it's up to the GM's discretion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if there's like a golden rule for that at some point.
Then you have different type of combat, which is brawling and wrestling. So punches, kicks, charge, disarm, grapple, choke, throw, trip. You can really combat can get really intense. There's quite a few pages on combat. Shield attacks, so you can actually, hit someone with a shield. So it gets realistic as it goes. But to be honest with you, the way we just did it is the kind of hit the ground running combats that I like to use.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's. I will say that originally when I was looking through, it's like there's a lot of shit to take into about, but then you just do this, and it's like actually, no, it's easy if you take the simplistic stuff. it's just more complex if you have, like, say, more characters and more stuff they do.
Oh yeah,
But
if you have a variety of mages and you have ranged weapons, it can get quite complex as you go along.
yeah,
And monsters as well. Monsters tend to have their own abilities,
yeah,
so I think keeping it to the simple side of stuff, just so you kind of know what one thing works after the other, I think it's just fine. And the more you feel confident about using the technique, then you would add on the other stuff as you go along. Alternatively, if you manage to, from all these pages, you manage to make a quick cheat sheet for yourself, especially the DM, go ahead and use that. You know, I do want to actually do that, a quick cheat sheet
will
of combat.
will be helpful. Yeah, yeah, sort of like a second DM screen.
Oh yeah, pretty much. This is just for combat. Okay, if this, then this, then this, and this. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Uh,
Anyways, anything else you want to add, Ethan? I think we pretty much covered most of it.
uh, that's really all. I don't have anything else to add, unless there's something you want to ask me.
I think we'll try another video with a different character, like mage, and we'll try
Yeah,
monsters and witchers. But this is the easy way how to deal with combat in the beginning.
yeah.
All right.
It is. Yeah, and you just have a doctor just murdered 2 bandits, so there you go. Any character can kill someone. It's just depends on tactics and shit.
Yeah. I like the fact that we use your doctor, not like a man of arms or something,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it just goes to show, it doesn't matter what you choose, as long as you have a weapon, you can use
Yeah.
it.
As long as you have a weapon and you have an idea how combat works, you're fine. Because I think it depends. If you play like sort of I don't want to say a D&D character, but let's just say a D&D character, that's just, or like someone who rushes into combat, you're not gonna survive. You have to play smart, basically, because you're gonna die. I could have died there if I just rushed in, but
Yeah. I think you played smart, the fact that you ran away first and
yeah,
waited for them to come to you. You really played them well.
yeah, because
And
that's sort of
that's a really good strategy there.
that's the idea. Because if you're outnumbered, you need to use your terrain to your advantage. So,
I agree.
yeah, but also if I failed horribly in those situations, combat could have gone very different. And in the case if I was getting to the point where, oh, I'm dying, book it, just book it, run.
I always recommend that, even for the DM. Usually, the DM has a specific rule set on the monster saying, listen, technique wise, if so many go down, the others just kind of, book it and leave.
Yeah, I'd also make the call as a game monster, and making the call as a game monster. If you feel like, okay, these guys are not going to risk their lives more, run for it. If a player is also, please, run away. Run away if shit hits the fan. Don't be dumb.
Unless you're fed up with your character and you want him dead for a new character, go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, unless you want to be yeah. There you go. If your character is suicidal, sure.
Alright, till next time,
All
we'll
right.
do another video about combat, so we'll kind of explore more options there. See you then.
All right. See you guys.